Okay, you can go ahead, Sue. I'll share my screen so anyone can see.
Okay. So this is chapter 8, text 19. Bhata grama sa avinyam, bhata bhuta pralayat, rate agame via parta, prathavate ahar agami. Again and again, the day comes, and this host of beings is active. And again, the night falls, O Partha, and they are helplessly dissolved. Text 20. Paras tasma te bhavo nyo.
Oh, wait, Sue, wait, hold on. Mine has a translation to 19. So do you want me to read it and then you can start reading 20?
I did read the translation.
Mine has a paragraph underneath 19. Wait, I'm sorry, did I just tune out? Are you reading number 20 or 19?
Okay, I read 19 and the translation was again and again the day comes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mine has like an explanation underneath that one. Do you want me to read that for 19?
Under yours has it. Wow. Yeah, if it's under 19, because on the screen it goes right into text 20 and that's where mine goes. But sure, if you got an explanation, go for it.
Yeah, in my book it has an explanation. Yeah, I know. That's why yesterday I was saying on the screen it doesn't have an explanation. I'll read it.
Sure.
The less intelligent who tried to remain within this material world may be elevated to higher planets and then again must come down to this planet Earth. During the daytime of Brahma, they can exhibit their activities on higher and lower planets within this material world, but at the coming of Brahma's night, they are all annihilated. In the day, they receive various bodies for material activities, and at night, they no longer have bodies, but remain compact in the body of Vishnu. Then again, they are manifest at the arrival of Brahma's day. Bhutva pralayat. During the day, they become manifest, and at night, they are all annihilated again. Ultimately, when Brahma's life is finished, they are all annihilated and remain unmanifest for millions and millions of years. And when Brahma is born again in another millennium, they are again manifest. In this way, they are captivated by the spell of the material world. But those intelligent persons who take Krishna consciousness to Krishna consciousness use the human life fully in the devotional service of the Lord, chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thus, they transfer themselves, even in this life, to the spiritual planet of Krishna and become eternally blissful there, not being subject to such rebirths. Okay, you can go on to 20 now.
Okay, thank you. Text 20. Paras tasma tu vano vrak yakto yaktat sanatana yasa servesu butesu na yatsu na vinyas yati. Yet there is another nature which is eternal and is transcendental to this manifested and unmanifested matter. It is supreme and is never annihilated. When all in this world is annihilated, that part remains as is. Krishna's superior spiritual energy is transcendental and eternal. It is beyond all the changes of material nature, which is manifest and annihilated during the days and nights of Brahma. Krishna's superior energy is completely opposite in quality to material nature. Superior and inferior nature are explained in the 7th chapter. Text 21. Avakato ksara iti uktas tam ahu paraman gatum yam prapya na nivartante tadama paraman mam. That supreme abode is called unmanifested and infallible, and it is the supreme destination. When one goes there, he never comes back. That is my supreme abode. The supreme abode of the personality of Godhead, Krishna, is described in the Brahma Samhita as Chintamani Dhamma, a place where all desires are fulfilled. The supreme abode of Lord Krishna is known as Goloka Vrindavana, is full of palaces made of touchstone. There are also trees which are called desire trees that supply any type of eatable upon demand. And there are cows known as Sarabhi cows, which supply a limited supply of milk. In this abode, the Lord is served by hundreds of thousands of goddesses of fortune, Lakshmis, and he is called Govinda, the primal Lord and the cause of all causes. The Lord is accustomed to blow his flute, Vanam Kavantam. His transcendental form is the most attractive in all the worlds. His eyes are like the lotus petals, and the color of his body like clouds. He is so attractive that his beauty excels that of a thousand cupids. He wears saffron cloth, a garland around his neck, and a peacock feather in his hair. In the Gita, Lord Krishna gives only a small hint of his personal abode, Golaka Vrindavana, which is the supermost planet in the spiritual kingdom. A vivid description is given in the Brahma Samhita. Vedic literature states that there is nothing superior to the abode of the Supreme Godhead, and that abode is the ultimate destination. When one attains it, he never returns to the material world. Krishna's supreme abode and Krishna himself are non-different, being of the same quality. On this earth, Vrindavana, 90 miles southeast of Delhi, is a replica of that supreme Golaka Vrindavana, located in the spiritual sky. When Krishna descended on this earth, he sported on that particular tract of land known as Vrindavana in the district of Mathura, India. Text 22. Parusa sa para parta bhaktya lab astvana yaha yasyanta shtani bhuktani yana sarvam idam tatam. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is greater than all, is attainable by unalloyed devotion. Although he is present in his abode, he is all-pervading and everything is situated within him. It is here clearly stated that the supreme destination from which there is no return is the abode of Krishna, the Supreme Person. The Brahma Samhita describes this supreme abode as Ananda Chinmaya Rasa, a place where everything is full of spiritual bliss. Whatever variegatedness is manifest there is all of the quality of spiritual bliss. There is nothing material. All variegatedness is expanded as spiritual expansion, the Supreme Godhead himself. For the manifestation, there is totally of the supreme energy, as explained in chapter 7. As far as this material world is concerned, although the Lord is always in his supreme abode, he is nonetheless all-pervading by his material energy. So, by his spiritual and material energies, he is present everywhere, both in the material and in the spiritual universes. Yasyan Tat Sitani means that everything is sustained by him, whether it be spiritual or material energy. It is clearly stated here that only by bhakti or devotional service can one enter into the Vaikuntha spiritual planetary system. In all the Vaikunthas, there is only one superior Godhead, Krishna, who has expanded himself into millions and millions of plenary expansions. These plenary expansions are four-armed, and they preside over the innumerable spiritual planets. They are known by a variety of names: Parisutana, Trivikrama, Kasava, Madhava, Aniruddha, Shrikesa, Sankarasana, Pradyums, Srihara, Vasudeva, Damodara, Janardana, Narayana, Vamana, Padmanabha, and so on. These plenary expansions are likened into the leaves of a tree, And the main tree is likened to Krishna. Krishna, dwelling in Golaka Vardhana, his supreme abode, systematically conducts all affairs of both universes, material and spiritual, without a flaw by power of his all pervasiveness. Text 23. Yatra kale tsunantim avratim kaiva yogana prayata yanti tam kalam vaksimyani bharata sabha. O best of the Bharatas, I shall now explain to you the different times at which, passing away from this world, one does or does not come back. The unalloyed devotees of the Supreme Lord, who are totally surrendered souls, do not care when they leave their bodies or by what method. They leave everything in Krishna's hands and so easily and happily return to the Godhead. But those who are not unalloyed devotees and who depend instead on such methods of spiritual realization as karma yoga, jnana yoga, hatha yoga, and so on, must leave the body at a suitable time and thereby be assured whether or not they will return to the world of birth and death. If the yogi is perfect, he can select the time and place for leaving this material world. But if he's not so perfect, then he has to leave at nature's will. The most suitable time to leave the body and not return is being explained by the Lord in these verses. According to Akarya Baladeva Vidab Hushana, the Sanskrit word kala used here and refers to the presiding deity of time. Text 24. Agner Yotir Aha Sukla Sansmasa Yudarayanam Tatra Prayata Gachanti Brahma Vidu Janan. Those who know the Supreme Brahman pass away from the world during the influence of the fiery god, in the light, at an auspicious moment, during the fortnight of the moon, and the 6 months when the sun travels in the north. When fire, light, day, and moon are mentioned, it is to be understood that over all of them there are various presiding deities who make arrangements for the passage of the soul. At the time of death, the jiva sets forth on the path to a new life. If one leaves the body at the time designated above, either accidentally or by arrangement, it is possible for him to attain the impersonal Brahmayoti. Mystics who are advanced in yoga practice can arrange the time and place to leave the body. Others have no control. If by accident they leave at an auspicious moment, then they will not return to the cycle of birth and death. But if not, then there is every possibility that they will have to return. However, for the pure devotee in Krishna consciousness, there is no fear of returning, whether he leaves the body at an auspicious or inauspicious moment, by accident or arrangement. Text 25. Dumo Raitris Tatya Krishna Samasa Daksinya Yanam Tatra Kandra Masam Yotir Yogi Prapya Nivatate. The mystic who passes away from this world during the smoke, the night, the moonless fortnight, or in the 6 months when the sun passes to the south, or who reaches the moon planet, again comes back. In the 3rd canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, we are informed that those who are expert in fruitive activities and sacrificial methods on earth attain the moon at death. These elevated souls live on the moon for about 10,000 years by demigod calculations and enjoy life by drinking soma rasa. They eventually return to earth. This means that on the moon, there are higher classes of living beings, though they may not be perceived by the gross senses. Text 26. Sukla Krishnais Gati hi ete Yagata Sasvate Mate Ikaya Yate Anavitram Anya Yavartate Puna. According to the Vedas, there are two ways of passing from this world, one in light and one in darkness. When one passes in light, he does not come back, but when passes in darkness, he returns. The same description of departure and return is quoted by Akarya Baladeva Vidahusana from the Chandogya Upanishad. In such a way, those who are fruitive laborers and philosophical speculators from time immemorial are constantly going and coming. Actually, they don't attain ultimate salvation, for they do not surrender to Krishna. Text 27. Naite Sriti Parta Janam Yogi Muyate Kaskana Tasmat Sarvisu Kalisu Yoga Yokto Baharajuna. The devotees who know these two paths, O Arjuna, are never bewildered. Therefore, be always fixed in devotion. Excuse me. Krishna is here advising Arjuna that he shouldn't be disturbed by different paths the soul can take when leaving the material world. A devotee of the Supreme Lord should not worry whether he will depart either by arrangement or by accident. The devotee should be firmly established in Krishna consciousness and chant Hare Krishna. He should know that concern over either of these two paths is troublesome. The best way to be absorbed in Krishna consciousness is to be always dovetailed in a service, and this will make one's path to the spiritual kingdom safe, certain, and direct. The word yoga yukta is especially significant in this verse. One who is firm in yoga is constantly engaged in Krishna consciousness in all his activities. Sri Rupa Goswami advises that one should be unattached in the material world and that all affairs should be steeped in Krishna consciousness. In this way, one attains perfection. Therefore, the devotee is not disturbed by these descriptions because he knows that his passage to the supreme abode is guaranteed by devotional services. Text 28. Vidisu Yanesa Tapasu Kava. Danesu Yat Punya Phelam Pradstam. Adyatitat Servam Idam Vidatam. Yogi Param Hanam Upati Kadyam. A person who accepts the path of devotional service is not bereft of the results derived from studying the Vedas, performing austere sacrifices, giving charity, or pursuing philosophical and fruitive activities. At the end, he reaches the supreme abode. This verse is the summation of the 7th and 8th chapters, particularly as the chapters deal with Krishna consciousness and devotional service. One has to study the Vedas under the guidance of a spiritual master and undergo many austerities and penances while living under his care. A brahmachari has to live in the home of a spiritual master just like a servant, and he must beg alms from door to door and bring them to the spiritual master. He takes food only under the master's order, and if the master neglects to call the student for food that day, the student fasts. These are some of the Vedic principles for observing brahmacharya. After the student studies the Vedas under the master for a period from 5 to 20 years, he may become a man of perfect character. Study of the Vedas is not meant for the recreation of armchair speculators, but for the formation of character. After this training, the brahmachari is allowed to enter into household life and to marry. When he is a householder, he also has to perform many sacrifices and strive for further enlightenment. Then, after retiring from household life, upon accepting the order of Vanaprastha, he undergoes severe penances, such as living in forests, dressing with tree bark, not shaving, and so on. By carrying out the orders of Brahmachari, householder, Vana, Prashta, and finally Sannyasa, one becomes elevated to the perfectional stage of life. Some are then elevated to the heavenly kingdoms, and when they become even more advanced, they are liberated in the spiritual sky, either in the impersonal Brahmayoti or in the Vaikuntha planets or Krishna Loka. This is the path outlined by Vedic literatures. The beauty of Krishna consciousness, however, is that by one stroke, by engaging in devotional service, one can surpass all rituals of the different orders of life. One should try to understand the seventh and eighth chapters of the Gita, not by scholarship or mental speculation, but by hearing them in association with pure devotees. Chapters 6 through 12 are the essence of the Gita. If one is fortunate to understand the Gita, especially these middle 6 chapters, in the association of devotees, then his life at once becomes glorified beyond all penances, sacrifices, charities, speculations, and so on. One should hear the Gita from the devotee, because at the beginning of the 4th chapter, it is stated that the Gita can only be perfectly understood by devotees. Hearing the Gita from devotees, not from mental speculators, is called faith. Through association of devotees, one is placed in devotional service. And by this service, Krishna activities, form, pastimes, name, and so on become clear, and all misgivings are dispelled. Then, once doubts are removed, the study of the Gita becomes extremely pleasurable, and one develops a taste and a feeling for Krishna consciousness. In the advanced stage, one falls completely in love with Krishna, and that is the beginning of the highest perfectional stage of life, which prepares the devotee's transferal to Krishna abode in the spiritual sky, Goloka Vrindavana, where the devotee enters into eternal happiness. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purports to the 8th chapter of the Sri Gita in the matter of attaining the Supreme. So, stop.
I think we can pause here.
I think so too.
Stop.
Before hitting.
That was a lot of reading. Thank you, Sue.
Welcome. You know, I found online a thing which I haven't looked at yet. It's a YouTube guide to Sanskrit pronunciation, and I gotta look at that. But
you were doing everything great. The only thing was it's brahmachari.
Brahmachari.
Yeah, but everything else was really good.
Okay, well, thank you. Well,
I guess we've been reading long enough now, right?
Yeah, it kind of it almost sinks in. It's like when we visited Italy several times, and I can't speak Italian, but it's almost like I get a sense of it and the rhythm of it. And it's,
yeah,
languages are beautiful. They can be really beautiful.
Yeah.
I understand, Amanda, you once said that hearing it read in Sanskrit, there is something, it's almost like it resonates with certain brain cells, and it's quite a beautiful language.
For sure.
Yeah.
I think it was good that we had the Instagram to start, because it was good for us to hear it. Yeah. And it's fun to practice it when you get on a roll with it, like you were today, Sue. Like it's not bad, but then sometimes you just get stuck and you're like, this isn't gonna work today.
Amen. That was perfectly said, Pam. Perfect. This, but for me, that whole last sloka, the whole summation of books 7 and 8, that was, it reminded me so much of Catholic religious instruction, that if you really believe, if you really have faith, and the use of the word faith here, that's really all you need. And not that it's a diminished, I don't mean to make that sound like, all you need is this. It is more, this is what you need. This is the sole thing you need. You don't need to do all of these other things if you have this. And I wonder what was going on, because there are these continual contrasts between the Vedic literatures and the Vedic practices that must be followed, as opposed to, look, all you need to do is give yourself up. You need to hang out with devotees. You need to chant Hare Krishna. You need to just give yourself up to belief. So I'm wondering what was going on when this was first written.
Mm.
Because it sounds like some political thing was going on between two sects, almost.
I guess there's always some political thing going on, huh?
Amen to that. It never ends. Let's hear it for human nature, you know?
I just read something from someone who like teaches Vedas online, and he was like, y'all are saying that Kali Yuga is the worst and that other times were better, and you don't even know because you weren't there, and Krishna had to embody like this many times because there were so many problems. I was like, all right, that's a good point.
Right, right.
Maybe we were there.
No, right, maybe. Just doing the same things.
I think about what you just said, Sue, as like food. Like we're human beings, we could live off of like basic food, like vegetables, maybe an animal, and some water. That's all we need to live. It's just like the basic. But then we introduce like Doritos and Friendly's ice cream and all the other nonsense we don't even need. And I feel like that's what happens with this stuff. It's like all you need is the basic food and water. But we're like, no, we'll add all these other things in to distract us that
Yes,
we think we still want and need. And we want those more than a cup of water or wine or beer or whatever.
that was well said. But I love how you jumped right from vegetables to Doritos.
Doritos are my like biggest fault, my biggest guilty pleasure.
Oh God, yeah. I know what you mean. Everybody has one or two, right? But that was very nice. I mean,
I was proud of myself. Marissa had them at her house and I didn't have one, but it was toward the end of the bag. So one, I didn't want her to know I finished them, and two, who wants the crumbs?
Well, I have to say, I love how you personalize this. It's great.
Yeah, I usually that's how we speak from experience. We learn from our mistakes.
Yeah.
I mean, and I did just eat Friendly's ice cream. That was my treat after my vaccine because I'm a child.
You deserve to treat.
I asked the nurse, I said, because she went on the whole list of things like I shouldn't do. I'm like, oh, but you didn't mention anything about having ice cream as a treat after this. And she looked at me like, and I'm like, I was like, so it's doctor's orders, right? That I should go home and have ice cream? Okay. Now Isabella wants ice cream.
Friendly. Oh man. No wonder you and Isabel get along.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's one that's a mile, not even from Marissa's house. And that's why I was like, oh, I haven't had it in years. I can't even think the last time I had it. So that's why it was a special treat. All right. Meditate. I guess this is an important religious weekend coming up too. I don't celebrate Easter or any of the holidays around it, but if you do, happy holidays.
Pam, before I forget to tell you, I'm traveling on Wednesday and Thursday next week to take my son up to see colleges upstate. So
exciting.
So I'll read Monday and Tuesday if that's cool.
Okay, and happy birthday to him this weekend.
Thank you.
You said it was this weekend, right?
Yep, it's Saturday. Yep, tomorrow.
Okay.
What
colleges are you going to?
We're going to see Lemoyne, which is right next to Syracuse. It's a smaller school, but they have a joint program with Syracuse. And then we're going to RIT in Rochester.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, have fun.
Thanks.
That's exciting.
It is.
I'm glad this wasn't this time last year, or you wouldn't have been able to go.
I know. Well, yeah, well, that was the thing. He just got his acceptance letters and now we're going to see the schools because we didn't get to go before we applied.
Oh, is he a senior?
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that's funny. It's like reverse, but that's okay. It'll be
Yeah,
fine.
it's fine.
Okay. All right, so we'll see you on Monday.
Okay.
All right, let's do some breath work. Oh my God, I feel so much better to be sitting home on my block instead of whatever I was doing there. Okay, sit up nice and tall. Just take a few breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. I'm gonna take. Oh. And bring your right hand over to your face and help. Bring the right thumb to the right nostril. Inhale through the left. Close left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Close right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Close left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Close right. Exhale left. Continuing on a few more rounds like that, adding your locks and retention if it's in your practice. You'll take as many rounds as you need and then exhale out the left side. We're going to set the timer. You'll join us when you're ready. Bringing your hands to your heart. Namaste.
Namaste.
Have a good day.
You